Hello everyone, I'm Jabakruba Rosli and I'm happy to welcome you all for a new video from my channel. Today video is from the subject financial management and the topic we are going to see today is investment decision capital budgeting part 4. Part 1, 2 and 3 is already available in my channel. I have also given the link in the description. If you haven't watched that video so far, I suggest you to watch that video first and then continue watch this video. Right. And in this video, we are going to see about net present value, discounted payback period, and profitability index. I hope this video will be helpful for you to understand this concept in a better way. And do watch the video completely. And if you find this video is useful, don't forget to like this video and give your comments. Also share this video with your friends who may find it useful. And also if you are new to my channel, I suggest you to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Right, without further delay, let us get into the video. Evaluation criteria. Before getting into the topic, I want to give you a small recap about what we have seen so far. So we are discussing about the capital budgeting methods, and I have also given you an introduction that capital budgeting method has both traditional methods and modern methods. And in our previous video, we have completed all the three traditional methods. So in this video, we are going to see modern methods. So we are going to see three modern methods in this video, that is net present value, discounted payback period, and profitability index. So IRR we will see as a separate video. Right, let us see one by one. Time value of money. So the difference between the traditional method and the modern method is the time value of money. I wish that you should understand the concept of time value of money before you see the methods. So the drawbacks of the traditional method is the traditional method doesn't take into consideration the concept of time value of money. That's why the modern method is being introduced. And what is time value of money? A rupee today is more valuable than a rupee after a year. This is the concept, simple concept of time value of money. I'm having some amount today, that is I'm having some 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. With this 1,000 rupees, I can do something today, but after a year, I cannot do the same thing which I have done with this 1,000 rupees right now, because as the time goes by, the money value decreases. So when this is the case, it means that money has a time value, and time value of money is an individual's preference of possession of a given amount of money now rather than the same amount at some future time, right? So everyone is uncertain about the future then, and you don't know what is going to be the value of money in a future date, so everyone wants to hold a money right now, then I'm going to get it in a future period. That's why the time value of money is important, and all the modern methods includes the importance of time value of money. First, net present value method. What is net present value method? Net present value method is one of the modern method for evaluating the project proposals. In this method, cash inflows are considered with the time value of money. So as I told you already, in this method, we are going to consider the cash inflow not just as a cash inflow. We are also going to consider it by adjusting it with the time value of money. Net present value is the difference between the total present value of future cash inflows and the total present value of future cash outflow. Right. So in the net present value, we are going to consider the present value. The present value of what? The present value of money, and that too we are going to consider the cash inflows and outflows. Cash inflow means the amount we are going to get from the project. Okay, that is what cash inflow. What is cash outflow? The amount we have invested in the project so that that project come to active and it generate income for us. Okay, the amount we have invested is cash outflow, and the amount we are going to get from the project is what? Cash inflow. Now, to compare the traditional method, what we do compare the cash inflows and cash outflow. But in the modern method, you should compare both cash inflow and outflow at the present value. What do you mean by a present value? So I'm going to get some amount, some 10,000 rupees next year. What is the worth of 10,000 rupees I am going to get next year right now? That is what the present value of future cash inflow. Right. So we know we have invested 1 lakh rupees. We are investing 1 lakh rupees right now. That means that is the present value of cash outflow. Okay. It is we have invested now. So that is the present value of cash outflow. But by investing this 1 lakh rupees, I'm going to get a return in consecutive years. So first year I'm going to get 20,000, next year I'm going to 30,000, 40,000. Now I just want to know that what will be the time adjusted value of the 20,000 I'm going to get after 1 year right now. So that is what the main thing you do in net present value. Right. How do you accept or reject a project based on a net present value? As I told you that you have to first take into consideration the present value of cash inflow. So that is what you should not just include. In the traditional method, we just take into consideration only cash inflow. But here you should not only consider cash inflow, you have to consider the present value of cash inflow, and you have to compare that present value of cash inflow with the present value of cash outflow. If the present value of cash inflow is greater than the present value of cash outflow, we are going to accept the project. And the other case, if the present value of cash inflow is less than the present value of cash outflow, we are going to reject the project. So this is what the concept behind accepting and rejecting a project based on the net present value. Let us understand the concept with the help of an example. Let us see the example. From the following information, calculate the net present value discounted at 10% of the two projects and suggest which of the two projects should be accepted at discount rate of the two. Right here they have given information about two projects, project X and Y. And they have also mentioned that we are going to calculate the time value of money to know the net present value at a discount rate of 10%. And what else information is available? Initial investment, estimated life and scrap value is given for both the projects, and also 5 years cash flow, that is profit before depreciation and after taxation, that is the direct cash flow itself given. So we don't need to do any further calculation to find the cash flow. And as I have told you already, except in ARR, in all the other methods we will be using the cash flows. And how to calculate cash flow if the data is given in other ways, that explanation is available in the part 1 of this topic. So you can hit the iCard and see the part 1 to get an understanding of cash flow. Right. So we are having the 5 years cash flow. Let us proceed with the problem. So this is how we are going to work out the net present value. Uh, First, let us see for project X. And here we have a table with 4 columns. First column year, second column cash inflow, third column present value of rupees 1 at 10% and present value of net cash inflow. Right? This is what the entire thing you require to calculate the net present value. And I have already entered the cash inflow which is given in the question. Also the scrap value rupees 1000, which is we are going to receive at the end of the life of the project, right? So I have entered it along in the fifth year because 5 year is the life of the project. So as we know that scrap value will receive at the end of the life, so it is included as a cash inflow at the end of the fifth year, right? Now what you have to do to first we have to fill the third column. To fill the third column, we have to see the table, that is press PVIF, which means present value interest factor table. So this table will be available in back of the financial management book, and you can also Google and find the table. So this is where you are going to get the present value. As given in the problem, we know 10% is the discount factor, and you have 5 years is the life of the project. So we are going to enter this value in the table, right? Okay. So this is what the value we have found in the table. Now let us enter it in your problem. So first year 0.909, second year 0.826, third year 0.751, fourth year 0.683, and fifth year 0.621. And same 0.621 we are going to use for scrap value, as I told you already. Now in the fourth column we are going to just multiply the second column and the third column. As we do so, we get rupees 4,545, 8,260, 7,510, 2049, 1242, and 621, right? What we are going to do, the next step is finding the total, that is the total of the fourth column, that is the discounted cash inflow adjusted by 10% discount rate for all the 5 years plus the scrap value. We are going to total it, and if you total, you're getting 24,227. Now what is the next step? You have to that is the initial investment as given in the problem is 20,000. So we have to find the difference. The difference is 4,227. So as per our accept and reject criteria, that is if the present value is greater than the initial investment, we are going to accept the project. If we are having only one project, definitely we can accept this project because the total present value is greater than the initial investment. But we have one more project, so in this case we have to compare it with the another project and then we have to decide. So let us see project Y. Okay, so project Y, similar way you have to work out. Already I have entered the table value. Now we have to just multiply the table value with the cash inflow we have received for, we are expected to receive for project Y. And it is 18,180, 8,260, 3,755, 2,049, 1,242, and 1,242 again, because the scrap value and the cash inflow we are going to receive in the fifth year is same. That's why we're getting a same value. Next we can make a total. The total is 34,728, and the initial investment for project Y is 30,000, and if you subtract it you get 4,728. So as in the case both the project, you have a net present value which is greater than their initial investment. So if you individually see, this project can be accepted, but as we have two projects, let us compare it. So here is the information for project X. So if you see the net present value for both the project X is 4,227, project Y is 4,728. So if we compare both the project, 4,728 is greater than 4,227. So we can recommend project Y by using the net present value method. Okay, the second method we are going to see is discounted payback method. So already we have seen payback method under traditional method. So the drawback of the payback method is where it is not considering the time value of money. One of the drawback, right? So that is why the time value of money is considered in the modern discounted payback method. So if you are not having any idea about payback method, click the icon to watch the payback method in part 2 video, right? So now in the discounted payback method, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate the payback value based on the discounted money value, right? So already know, that's why I'm using the same problem. Already in the NPV we have found the discounted money value, right? So that is actually we are getting 5,000 in the first year, which is discounted with the money value, and now the 5,000 we are going to receive at the first year is just worth 4,545 now. And if you see something else, if the 10,000 you are going to receive in the third year is just worth 7,510 now. That is what the present value money concept. So already we have calculated the same in both the project Y and project X. So that I have entered already. So as we all know, to find the payback period, you have to calculate the cumulative cash inflow. What is the cumulative cash inflow? Just look at the project X, fifth column. The first row, that is for the first year, you are going to enter the same value. And for the second year, the cumulative cash inflow of the first year plus the present value net cash inflow of the second year. So you're getting 12,805, and similarly if you continue for the third year, we're getting 20,315, and the fourth year you're getting 22,364. Fifth year we are getting 23,606, and by including the scrap value we are getting 24,227. Similarly, we can also do the same for the project Y. So that is same calculation, that's why I have entered the value now. Now we know the cumulative cash inflow for both project X and Y. So what is the aim of discounted payback method? When do I receive this 20,000 I have invested? So if you look at this problem, so you have received 12,805 at the end of the second year, and which is less than 20,000, and at the end of the third year we are going to receive 20,315, which is 315 rupees higher than 20,000. So somewhere near to third year, that is between the second year and third year, we are going to receive the 20,000. Okay, payback period is 2 year plus some months, right? And similarly, if you look at project Y, we have to receive 30,000. In the end of the second year, we are receiving 26,440, which is less than 30,000. Whereas if you look into third year cumulative value, it is 30,195, which is 195 greater than the initial investment 30,000, right? So now again here also this is somewhere between the second year and third year. So let us calculate the payback period. So the payback period for project X is, okay, 2 years plus we are going to find how many months. So for that, first we have to enter 7,195. What is 7,195? That is 20,000 minus second year cumulative value. 20,000 is the initial investment minus second year cumulative value. You get 7,195 divided by 7,510. What is 7,510? Is the third year cash inflow. Discount adjusted cash inflow is 7,510 into 12 months. So if you do this calculation, you will be getting 11.49. As I have told you already, anything which crosses 11 you have to take into consideration as 12. So 12 month means obviously again that is 1 year. So the payback period for project X is 3 years. And the same calculation we are doing for project Y. Again project Y also you are getting something around 11.37. So which is again 12 months, and the consideration is 1 year. So if you see both the projects, you have 3 years. Okay, there is no difference in according to discount payback period. There is no much of difference between project X and project Y. So according to this method, you can either choose project X and project Y. So this is what about discounted payback method. And the last method we are going to see in today's video is profitability index. Again, I have took the same problem to explain the profitability index. So we have project X, project Y, and all the calculation is over. So here, what is profitability? The profitability index is an index that attempts to identify the relationship between the cost and benefit of a proposed project through the use of ratios calculated as is equal to present value of future cash flow divided by initial investment. Now, this is a technique where you find an index by comparing the cost and benefit. Cost is the amount you invest in the project and the benefit is the return you are going to get from the project. That's why the profitability index is equal to present value of future cash flow. That is what we have found. For project X is 24,227 and project Y is 34,728. Okay, that is what the present value of future cash flow divided by initial investment. Initial investment is 20,000 for project X and 30,000 for project Y. So how do we accept or reject a project? So if you do so, for project X we are getting 1.21 and project Y we are getting 1.61. So generally in profitability index, how we are going to accept or reject a project is if the value we are getting, that is the index value, if you are receiving is greater than 1, then we can accept the project, and if the index value is less than 1, we can reject the project. So as for this case is concerned, both the problem you have the index rate greater than 1. So individually if you evaluate, both the project can be accepted because it is generating a index rate greater than 1. But if you compare both the project, if you find that project X is more profitable because it is giving an index of 1.21, right? Okay, so that's all about profitability index. Now let us see a summary. So same problem we have took and we have evaluated using all the three method, right? The first method, net present value, we found project Y is profitable, and according to discount payback method, we found both the project is equal. We can choose either of the project, and according to profitability index, now you found that project X is profitable. So you may wonder that how this different techniques are suggesting different method. So the net present value, it concentrate only to identify that whether the net present value of the project is higher than the initial investment. So it never concentrate about the profitability. And if you see the discount payback method, okay, the discounted payback method only have addressed the time value of money drawback of payback method. See, other drawbacks of payback method is there in the discounted payback method. That is, it doesn't consider the cash flow received after the time value of money. And but the profitability index method is a best method because it includes time value of money. It take into consideration the entire cash inflow, and also it take into consideration the relationship between the cost and benefit. So the best method, and so far we have evaluated the two project based on two method, but the recommendation when you get a different suggestion from different method, the recommendation we get from project index is more acceptable. Thank you so much. With this, I know we have completed three modern methods of capital budgeting. Only one more method is pending that we will be seeing in the next video. And if you really find this video useful, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Also like this video and give your valuable comments below. And also, if you're new to this channel, as always, don't forget to subscribe my channel. I hope, I know if you subscribe this channel, you will get some valuable updates. Okay, thank you one and all.